Hey everybody!
Hello.
Hey guys!
MaJeliv here. We are the Vasquez family. Today we are coming back with another reaction. We are going to be reacting to the RRR Rise, Roar, Revolt Glimpse. This is a movie that we've seen many little sneak peeks and trailers for at this point.
Very cool.
Very
sneak
cool.
peeks.
I think the first trailer we saw for this was months ago now, but every once in a while we've gotten new things. We started off with the Ramaraju for Beam and the Beam for Ramaraju, kind of two trailers based off the two main characters' perspectives. Now, for those of you watching that have no clue over what the story of this movie is supposed to be, or this movie is about, we'll kind of go over a recap here. This movie is supposed to be a fictitious. It's supposed to be a fictitious. It's supposed to be a fictional story about two legendary revolutionaries and their journey away from home before they start fighting for their country. And this takes place in the 1920s, so it is a timed piece, but it is fictional. So it'll be interesting to see how they, tell the story from a fictional standpoint in the 20s. But it stars NTR as Komaram Bhim, and then Ram Charan as Alluri Sitarama Raju, and then you have Aliyah Bhatt who's playing Sita, and then Ajay Devgan, I don't know how to say his last name, but it has him as key role as on IMDb. So either his character's name is literally key role, or he's playing a key role in the story that they won't reveal yet.
Just like the protagonist in Tenet.
Exactly.
Like that. I am the key role.
Right.
And I'm going to save the day. We're going to do it. We're going to rise.
Or he could be the
roar,
main
and
villain.
revolt.
Right.
But
this trailer is only 46 seconds, so we're not going to see much. Let's jump in, and we'll give our thoughts after what we got a glimpse of in this. And but thank you so much for joining us today. Here we go. Let's do this. Oh man!
Whoa. Look at this.
Okay, that's how you.
I did not see the tiger.
What? This is so epic. Oh! Oh! No wonder it's taking so long.
Oh my goodness gracious!
The glory
The
of
height.
Indian cinema.
Dude,
That is
Dude.
the best 46 seconds.
oh! And then that.
Oh man!
Tigre.
Tigre, dude.
What?
That
my
is
God.
absolutely stunning.
There was so much there. Well, Dad, you were telling us
That's building
you
a
read
hype for sure.
you read a Deadline report before this
Yes.
about the title, right? Can you tell our...
So I was reading a Deadline. Deadline was saying this interview. It was an interview they did of JR NTR on this movie and how the pandemic has been frustrating for all of the people involved with this amazing project. One of the things that I found absolutely intriguing was the amount of training they went through, what these heroes meant for them, and now to get to play them in the film is, I mean, quite the honor. But it's the kind of thing where you learn little things like, and some of you probably already know this because I know you're obvious fans. You've been asking us to do this. But one thing I found intriguing is how the titles of movies change. And we're in the movie business as well, and we've been a part of movies that when you start working on them, they're called something, and then by the end of it, they're called something else. Mm-hmm. In this case, the working title for this was RRR, based on the last names of all the people involved, Ram Charan and NTR, and then of course the director. So all three R's of the main actors and the director, that's kind of the working title because they're the big two stars and then the big director, right? And they had worked together before. So it was RRR for so long that then the director one day was like, hey, why don't we just call this Triple R? And it was later on that he came up with Rise, Roar, and Revolt. So the evolution of the creative process is always very interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think the frustrations that have hit India with COVID, in the interview, JR NTR reveals that even he had COVID, and he had to isolate with his family. It's been very frustrating. The whole country has been affected. It's, of course, Indian cinema has been affected with theaters being shut down, production being shut down.
Another thing too is like the vast like scale of the extras in this movie.
Well, the emphasis on...
The emphasis on the crowds and the groups of people fighting. Like it would be different if everybody was separated. You know, it's units going in and having a cinematic battle.
I was gonna say they really emphasize the return of bringing back the glory of Indian cinema.
Yeah.
Like Josh said, the scale
Feels
of this
that
movie
way.
is ginormous. It comes out again in 2022 as of now. If there was, I forgot
It's
what
January 7th, I believe.
Right, so it is coming up
Yeah.
before we know it. We know this is directed by S.S. Rajamouli. That's how you pronounce it. I know we've said it different ways, so please correct us as to how we are supposed to say
Yes.
it. And because of that, we know he directed Bahubali and Bahubali too, and we've reacted to those trailers, and we are extremely fascinated by them, and we want to see them before this movie. So you've already planned on. We just finished watching Shershaw recently, so if you guys haven't checked that out, you guys can check out our reaction to that with this card up above. A phenomenal movie. We're finally starting to get into Indian cinema and actually watching these movies you guys have been requesting for us to watch. I think the next one we're going to be watching is Sardad Udham, because you guys are more passionately requesting that one right now. But we know Bahubali is up there as well. So I think Sardar Udham is next, and then we'll be doing Bahubali and Bahubali 2 in like late November, December, going into January for when this comes out, and we definitely will do a reaction to this. But the scale, the visuals, the special
I
effects.
almost forgot because of how long it's been we've seen something of this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So it's very good.
the behind the scenes was such a cool thing to watch.
Yeah.
The guy on,
Swinging on the camera.
Yeah, it's crazy
It makes
stuff.
you appreciate what we just saw now because
Well, they just put so much work into it. Like it just, you could just see all the hard work and like the life
Yeah.
they put into it. So to see it come together and see the final result of it, like that's probably why it's been so frustrating for them during COVID too. Is, it's something they stopped doing, something that they loved and that they put their whole thing into. Like they don't just like you can't just go halfway. You have to go fully.
yeah.
Fully.
So I'm happy that it's finally coming out soon.
Curious, out of curiosity, if these two men, these characters are inspired by certain people.
They are. They
are,
According
okay.
to the interview I read, JR NTR talks about these individuals, and they were told stories of them as
So,
kids.
like,
Oh wow.
And so imagine hearing stories of certain heroes, and then you get cast.
So there
like
was, so there were actual people.
They
at
were
some point.
actual
So it's
people,
like
but-
historical fiction, more like
Correct.
legend, folklore, sort of.
Yes, that's
Okay.
from what I gather. It's historical fiction, and you are all so good at educating us. So we're very open to learning with what you know about the real life heroes. And I'm not sure that they actually collide and go against each other. It's very possible at some point in the story that they work together. I don't know. That's the part that is still unknown to us. But of course, this is always more of a conversation.
Right. Are they working together, or are they very much against each other?
The fire was surrounding that guy.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Can you imagine if your morning walk or run was, with a tiger chasing you? You're gonna get fast, no matter what. You're
I
gonna
don't
get
remember the
fast.
tiger being in the other.
No, I
That's
remember hearing sounds of the
Yes.
tiger.
Yeah,
Like
so-
they were running from something, and I think the shocking thing to me was to see those sequences with that many people. I mean, just to coordinate a few people on set, it's very difficult. I mean, to have that many people cohesively,
It's impressive.
I mean, it's just so impressive.
Obviously,
and
I'm
that fountain
sure-
part with the big whip thing,
Yes.
The slow.
oh, slow motion, so cool. I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm sure VFX was used for those mass scenes as well, but
Yeah.
there's something. I mean, there's such a scale to the movies in terms of like, I can't.
I wonder
So
how long it's going to be, too.
Yeah, I mean, Bahubali. Each one of those movies, from what we've seen, is extremely long. So I imagine it's gonna be one heck of a long
How's the
movie.
back and forth gonna be?
If I had a chance to ask the director, S.S. Rajamouli, a question about his approach to filmmaking, it's the style of the way he uses a slow-mo. It's not overly done, and we've seen it now a few times in the different takes, and it just reminds me of Zack Snyder's 300. And I've always wondered, since we first saw the Bahubali trailer, I wondered what is the origin of that, the proper use of slow-mo, where you go you go slow, and then you just turn on the speed even a little bit faster to increase the impact of a moment. I think that's it takes skill to not
know.
overdo that, to know when to do that. It's like a song, right? You can layer in certain sounds But if you overdo something in a song, and it happens a lot today, especially
Sometimes
with
in
auto-tune.
Transformers, sometimes there's
Right,
Yeah.
like Transformers is a perfect example of overkill, of too much sound, too much...
Even
It's
another example in
sometimes-
terms of the
Bahubali
sound
was
terms is Narnia. In the way that they're running in the battle and all the sound kind of goes silent and you just hear the heart pumping, and then when they clash, it's just this
Goes back.
large
Loud
like.
noise.
Don't get me
that
wrong,
Yeah.
Transformers has some pretty good.
Oh,
slow-mo.
They have some
my
great
gosh,
moments.
yeah.
But
Bumblebee is
it's
awesome.
but it's again those moments, and what moments maybe didn't need it. So it's all about, it's like you said. I think slow mo is like an accent that you can put on certain things that doesn't always.
Well, I think if it highlights character, right? If it highlights the tension between two opposing
What
sides.
a character's going through.
Right.
Instead of making the moment look cool, does that make
If
sense?
it's just about making it cool, we're gonna know the difference. And sometimes that has a good effect too. If you're just trying to make it look more,
It just needs to be done right.
but it just seems so far
everything looks
that.
cooler in slow mo.
But it seems so far that Rajamouli knows what he's doing with slow mo. I've yet to see a moment where I'm like, oh, okay, that was.
well, like even when like
you know,
the
it was
elements,
really. He
Yeah.
seems to know what he's doing.
like the water and fire.
Yes.
Yes, it was beautiful.
They should do Avatar.
I,
though.
I would even say with him, there's a sense of, there's certain shots I'm seeing that I'm like, that is so creative, and I like, there's in my head you think, oh, there's no way they could have gotten that shot, yet I'm seeing it in front of me. So
And you also saw that
Right.
other guy swinging with the
And
So
camera.
part of me thinks a lot of it is CGI when you look behind the scenes, and almost none of it is CGI. Like you question
Yeah.
how
So
that's
impressive.
possible. And obviously, CGI is used, and it's not a bad thing.
crazy, man.
But the fact that they're out of their way to try and make almost everything not CGI is amazing.
Very impressive. The
Yeah.
physical agility to get this movie
yeah,
made, not only from the actors, the performers, and stunt people, but the cameramen and the lights and sound. I mean, everyone I think has to get a little risky with how they film this. So
Speaking
Yeah,
of
man.
physical, JR NTR talks about how hard they had to train to look the way they look in this movie.
they
That-
look.
it's-
I remember in the
it-
first trailers, they are.
They're like almost 100% muscle.
super.
They're just like, plop. It's really impressive. And,
Yeah, man.
you know, that doesn't come easy. I think a lot of people think that some of these actors are they just walk around
Or
every day of
genetics,
their lives
right?
like
Or
that. Yeah, no.
genetics and-
They're one of the things they're getting paid for is to work out every single day and
Work
eat a certain
really
way.
hard.
Right.
So if these guys that they're working out to be are superheroes basically, then they would probably do it and pull through.
How awesome is it though, Josh? Because I know one thing is to work out to be a superhero, right? But
Right.
what if you get cast to play a legendary hero from your country, right? Movies like
Yeah.
Bahubali and Dongal, because I think wasn't Dongal based on a true story as well,
Yeah.
right? And you have these physical transformations you're asked to make as an actor to honor these people that have really put themselves through it in real life.
Right.
That's pretty special, I think.
Yeah.
That is quite.
Oh, it's a
honor.
special thing, right? So even if
Yeah.
it's hard, you push through it.
Oh, yeah.
What a blessing to be able to do that, right? It's a blessing thing. But hey, right before we close up, I think we're gonna watch it one more time
yes,
to see.
one more
for
time because
extra
that
little
was
things.
shocking. We
It's
just wanna
46
see it again.
seconds.
Let's see the.
we'll watch
the
it one more
tigre.
time.
It's too beautiful
The
not to
tiger.
watch it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Oh man, let's do this one more
Let's do it.
time, and then we'll close up this video. But thank you so much for joining us, and if you've watched this all the way through, thank you for listening to our commentary, our breakdown, and our conversation as we reflect and break down what we saw
Oh,
and
yeah.
and how as we digest what we possibly could have seen, and let us know if where we're right, where we're very wrong, and things like that. So,
Yeah.
but thank you nonetheless. Let's watch this one more time. RRR is pretty exciting stuff, man. Here we go. That's the other thing. The colors, like.
That upshot.
No.
That's
Oh my gosh, bro.
The shadows in the water, the reflection.
Well, the arrow.
that arrow shot. So great.
Look at that. And those red,
The
that red
glory of
Oh my gosh, bro.
fire.
Looks
Wow.
so cool.
There's that water fire again.
Yeah, you noticed that?
Tiger.
The Rise has
Oh my
they
God.
both have different characters, but in the middle there's like hands like together.
Yes.
That was awesome.
Yeah, so they
Man.
definitely get the sense of them coming together. Here's what's really cool that it just hit me, that last shot of the tiger. If that tiger was chasing him, at some point our hero tames the tiger and fights with him. That's what I got from that.
Yeah.
Because the tiger's in the battle, suddenly fighting alongside him.
Dude, that's so insane.
That takes me
dude.
back
That
to
is-
like He-Man when I was a kid. Come on, that's amazing.
Oh wow.
That is
I
so
cannot. I'm
exciting.
excited for this.
RRR Rise
But
War
I think
Revolts.
Bahubali is gonna prepare us for this, so we
Of
need
course,
to see
yeah.
that for
But
sure.
this
for sure.
seems like it's man.
Ah,
We want to hear
man.
your thoughts. We want to hear what you guys are excited to see. What
Wow.
you guys are like. What you guys cannot wait.
About this movie.
Right. What about this movie is what's keeping like what you guys cannot wait to see. We really want to hear your thoughts. What we should look for as well. Like if there's specific things about this movie that we haven't talked about that are very important to know going into it. We definitely want to keep an eye out for that. But thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you guys enjoyed our reaction. And with that, go out there, spread your light, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Have a MaJeliv day.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.